Okay, so guys, I hope now everyone is pretty comfortable around Python environment, right? So I'd like to go ahead and request all of you to go ahead and use your respective Google Colab that we have used so far. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me help you to know how you will be going and how you will be opening those respective script file. Okay, so just give me a moment. Yeah, that's cool, Devi. So guys, I'd like to go ahead and have your respective Google Colab to be opened up. Okay. So everyone, okay, that's cool. So I think your e-learning portal has been up and running. So you all will be having your respective recorded and also the sort of notes to be available onto the same. Okay. That's cool. Yeah. So guys, in previous session, I have shared up the respective file with you. Okay. So let me go ahead and let me once again give you a walkthrough that how you will be uploading and how you will be opening those respective file, right? So what you need to do, you need to go onto the file, you need to go onto the respective upload part. Okay, so let me just once again share you the file. So those who were not been available over there can go ahead and can cope up. Yeah. So guys, over here the file that we have only the same will be your Python demo one. Okay, so just give me a moment. Let me just load the same onto the chat section so that everyone have the same file and we'll be starting from the same. Okay, so after this, you don't need to worry about all of these things because all things will be available onto your respective e-learning portal. Yeah. So over here, guys, now what you need to do, you need to go ahead and have the file onto the chat section, right? So it's for all those people who are not available in the previous session, right? So make sure you will be having this respective file with you. You can download it up, right? And now let's see how you will be going and how you will be opening up. So it's an .ipynb file. Now what is ipynb? Ipynb stands for, let me wrote over here so everyone can understand the same. Okay. So the format that you have currently in your hand is .ipynb. Fine. So it's a respective extension that will be used by your computing machines for all the files, right? So if you are using document file, so it is .doc, right? Or if you will be using a PDF file, right? Any of the respective PDF notes that you have used, right? I'm for sure that in your day-to-day world of operations, you have used it up, right? So again, you will be having a format known as .pdf. Okay, so this is how your machine will be able to segregate and understand that what is the nature of the file. So now we have this .ipynb file. If you try to open it with any other thing, for sure it will not be able to open up. And if you are using it to open it through notebook or you can say notepad, so you will be having some garbage encodings, right? Why? Because computer systems understand that this is the Python notebook, okay? And you need a Python platform to open it to view it, right? So .ipynb over here stands for interactive Python notebook, okay? So it will be helpful for all the people who are new to Python, right? So you can say the maximum people will able to understand that what this .ipynb understands, right? So it will be interactive Python notebook. So these short abbreviations you will be finding .ipynb, right? Now, guys, the other format that you will be having is .py. Now, what is .py? .py stands for Python script. Okay. Now, both will be the type of Python file. So whenever you have .ipynb and .py, so your machine understand that it's a Python code file. Okay, it's a file which is having Python codes into it. Now, what's the difference? Can anybody tell me? Can I have your responses onto the chat section? So if both will be of Python format, so why should I have these two different format? If all the files will be including or having the Python codes, then why should we have two different formats? Yes, guys, you can have your responses onto the chat section. Don't worry that whether it uh, will be wrong or right. Right, your opinion matters most over here. So whatever comes in your mind, just feel free to have the same onto the chat section, everyone. So Shikhar is saying in notebook we can edit, and in Python we can only see the code. Okay. What about others? You can give a guess also. No worries about that. Okay, so I have a wonderful reply over here. Rajan is saying it's like JPG and JPEG. Okay. So guys, yes, you can say like that. Fine. Now, if I'll be giving you the differentiation over here, okay. So the differentiations between these things, just have a word and you can write it over here, right? So the difference, or you can say the .ipynb versus .py, what's the difference? Fine. So guys, if I'll be going ahead and later on, you all will be building up some of the Python script, right? And then you will be running it onto the real world, right? So majorly you will be having .py. So what .py have? .py have only the codes, only the codes that you are giving up, right? But if I'll be going ahead with .ipynb format, okay. So in .ipynb format, it's a notebook format, guys, where you have codes as well as you have their output. Are you getting me? So both the things will be there up, the codes as well as their respective output that will be there up. So you can edit the codes in both the things .py and .ipynb, but .ipynb is a user friendly part where you can collaborate with your team, you can discuss onto the product, you can discuss onto the codes and all those stuff, right? So what the file I have given you today, I have given you .ipynb so that you can see the codes as well as the output that we have, right? So I hope now everyone have the same file. Let's see how you will be uploading it up. Fine. Over here, I'll be going ahead and I'll be clicking on file. I'll be clicking on upload notebook. I needs to browse the same from my local system. I'll be selecting up the file and here we go, right? And it will be opening up. See. Okay. So over here, you can see that this is the code that we have run, right? And this will be the output. So in .ipynb, guys, you all will be having the respective codes and the respective outputs. But on to the same hand, if I'll be downloading this file into .py, so it's a script file, okay? And now if I want to go ahead and if I'll be giving you the difference, so you will be amazed to see what will be the difference. I'll be uploading now the .py version over here, right? So, okay. So over here, guys, if you will be going ahead and if you will be opening it up, right? So over here, what do you need to see? you needs to go ahead and you needs to have a look that over here you all will be having your respective only the .ipynb file, right? And if you want to go ahead and if you want to upload any of the scripting file, so onto this respective files, right, you will be able to see. Okay, and now you will be uploading up a file. So this is your .py file, right? So if you click over here, guys, you can see that the difference how your respective script looks like. Fine. See over here. Now onto your screen, this is your respective .py file, and this is your notebook, right? So just check this content, right? Let me come over here. Let me just talk about this. This is your code, and this will be your respective output that you are seeing on your screen, right? And if you check .py file, so you will be able to see that there is no output. There is only code, right? So over here on line number 51, you are assigning 100 to Atharv. And if you print Atharv, there is no output, right? But on to the other hand, if you will be able to see, right, over here, you are assigning 100 to Atharv. And if you executing Atharv, you will be getting 100 onto the screen. Are you able to get the difference, guys, between .ipynb and .py? So .py is a file which is quite less in size and will work in whenever you are simply giving your Python code to any of the deployment part, right? Either you are launching your product, right? Or either you are putting up a script in some automation algorithms, right? So over there, you are simply using .py because it don't have any of the output. It is only having pure codes, only codes. 45 multiply 90, there is no output. But if you check notebook, you can have a look that 45 product 90 will give you 4050. Are you getting this, everyone? The difference between, because see, the code will be same, but one is notebook and the other one is .py file. You can check the difference. Can I have your quick responses, everyone? And if anyone is having any of the issues, please let me know. That's cool, Navya, Claire. What about others? Rajesh, Shikhar, Devi, right? Feel free to clear your doubt because it's a new interaction of you with Python, right? So just let me know if you want once again me to explain the same. That's cool, guys. Okay, awesome. Fine. So let me close it up. Let's just work with notebook only. Okay. Yeah. Fine. So guys, in the previous session, we have simply done a couple of, you can say, hands-on part with Python so that we can understand the environment and we can easily able to be comfortable around the same. So over here, what we are doing up, you can have a look that we have started with the very basic fundamental unit of variable, right? So we have seen that what are variables in any of the programming language. Variable are the thing where you can assign the information and later you can call the variable instead of information. Fine. So in short form, you can also able to understand that variables are identifiers, right? So if I want to call information 100, okay, so I'll be having a variable assigned to it. So now this 100 will be resembled by Atharv, right? You can have any variable of your choice. Okay. So over here, guys, you will be seeing that this variable is not having any major impact, right? But later on, once we are working with data, once we are loading file with data, so you will be amazed to see that how you will be going ahead and how you will be calling large data set with a variable. Okay. So today we are doing it up. Don't worry about it. Now, after that, we have simply work on what are the types of informations in the real world of scripting language, right? So you can also have bools and all those things, but later on we are coming on to it. We are working on to the most used types of information in the real world. So we will be having numeric over here, which is numerical values. Fine. So it will be segregated into two type. One is integer, the other one is floating point. Okay. So over here you can see that these are if I'll be talking about integers, so these are called as whole numbers. Fine. Some negative, positive, any of the whole number which don't have any fraction associated with it will be known as your integer. Fine. If I'll be coming on to the floating point or float, again it's a type of numeric information. What it holds, the number with decimal or fraction. So any number which is having decimal associated with it will be called as your floating point number, right? Then we are coming on to the next type of information, that is textual information. Email addresses, product quality, or any of the real world thing you will be having in your mind either have numeric in nature or will be in textual in nature, right? So text can have pattern also, right? Which is the combination of alphanumeric. Okay. So over here, what will be the textual data type in Python and how we are storing textual information? It will be always stored in string, right? So any of the thing between single quotes or double quotes will be called as your string information over here. Fine. Now, guys, if I want to store the email address, right? And what will be the email address of a person that I want to store into the computing resources? Let's say it will be known as sky345 at the rate gmail.com, right? So tell me that over here we have the text information, we also have numbers. So what will be the data type of these type of real world information which I needs to give to Python for my calculation? So what's your opinion, guys? Just think a bit. And Rajan is saying string. Okay, what about others? See, over here you don't need to hesitate, guys, right? On day one I have cleared up. Please put your responses. At least you are able to go ahead and you are able to present yourself. Leave whether your response is correct or not. Fine, because in data science and in data analytics field, it is very important that a person needs to be expressive in nature. Your opinion matters the most, right? I'm not saying your correct opinion, correct response, but your opinion. That's cool. Akshay is saying string, Navya is saying string, Rajan is saying string. What about Yashwant, Uday, Akshay, Bhuvnesh? String. Okay, so over here we have someone who have used annotation mode. Just give me a moment, guys. Yeah, let me remove it up. Okay, string, everyone string, that's really cool. Fine. So over here, guys, no matter whatever the respective information we have, right? If you needs to go ahead, if you needs to include anything, it will be for sure string, right? So addresses, alphanumeric patterns, everything will be string. Okay. Apart from numeric, if you want to store any of the information, just think that it will be stored in string itself, right? Now, after that, we have tried to give some of the respective variable and we have tried to do some of the respective operations over here, arithmetic, subtraction, addition, product, division, flow division, and all those things, right? I hope everyone is clear so far, guys, about this. Okay. So let's move on to the next part, which is very important. So guys, over here, these are the fundamental of Python. Okay. So we are going ahead with very slow pace because once you are very comfortable in these things, assigning information, extracting information, then it will be really fun. Okay. Because these are like you are learning a new language, a new communication medium, and these are like alphabets. And slowly, you are simply learning how to make these sentences and all those stuff, right? So it is very important for now to learn it up. Okay, so now guys, we are going ahead and we are discussing about, let me just, yeah. Okay, so we are just going ahead and we are working on accessing the information, or before accessing, let's do that how you will be assigning the information, right? It is very important for everyone because we are working on huge data sets. So you need to understand that how these all things will be working up. Fine. So guys, in Python, there are two ways of assigning information. One is static way. Okay, you can say it's like manual way. So you will be having a car which is having a manual gearbox. So one by one you have to give the gear to the vehicle, right? First gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear. Okay. So likewise you need to do all these things over here, right? So whatever the example we have learned so far, where we are creating a variable and where we are assigning the information, all these things will be the example of static way of assigning information. Okay. So what we are doing up, we are simply assigning information manually. Okay. So over here, guys, let me come on to a way, right? If I'll be going ahead and if I'll be working on to the same, right? So what we'll be doing up, first of all, we will be giving a variable. Then we are giving an assignment operator equals to, and after that, I'll be giving my information, which can be string, numeric, or right. This will be the way, yes or no. So over here, before assigning the information, your machine knows that what user is giving up. For an example, I'll be giving a variable X, and now guys, I will be giving my information 45. So it's a numeric information. I will be assigning to X. So before executing this code, before giving this code to machine, you as a user also know that 45 will be stored in X, right? So it is a manual way. Just consider the example that if you want to run your vehicle in second gear, so manually you are using the gearbox, and then you are giving second gear, then third gear. So in your mind as a driver, you know that in which gear your vehicle will be running up once you are putting up, right? Similarly over here, this is a static way of assigning information to a variable, where before executing the code, before giving this code to Python, you will know and machine will know that 45 will be going to store in X. Are you getting me? So it doesn't make any sense in real world, right? So now if I execute it up, and now if I have a look on X, so I for sure know that X will be holding a 45. Are you getting the static way, guys? That before assigning the information, you and machine knows that okay, what type of information is going up. So it is really useless in real world. Fine. So that's why, guys, now we will be having up the second way of assigning information, which is known as dynamic way, and it also have the other name, which is also known as user defined variable. Okay. So today you will be learning a good sort of thing, that how actually Python works, store information, and how data type matters. Okay, that is the gist of understanding this basic part, right? And right after this, guys, what we'll be doing up, we will be going ahead and we will be working on to the pandas itself, right? Your first library of Python, where you all will be learning to load the data file, right? Because at the end of the day, we needs to go ahead and we needs to understand that how you will be going ahead and how you will be working with data up a lot. Okay. So dynamic way or user defined variable, which is very important over here. Fine. So what is this? Over here, you are assigning the information during execution. Now it is really fun. Now what you need, what you have done, that earlier you have a automatic, or let's say you have a manual transmission car, manual gearbox. Now you have shifted to automatic. Okay. So in automatic, you don't need to be worry about, automatically machine will able to know that which gear will be coming up, right? So let's say you are simply speeding up. So your gear will be increasing from 2 to 3, 3 to 4. Yes. So you don't need to use manually and put the gear. Now same fundamental, same theory will be with the dynamic way, which is also known as user defined variable, and which has a very significant importance in the real world, guys. Right? Just consider main thing over here. What will be the way? Okay. So dynamic way or user defined variable is pretty important, right? Now you will be able to see. Okay, so now you are not assigning information before executing it up, right? You are assigning information during execution of the codes, okay, or during execution of the code. Now how it will be happening up? So guys, over here, first time all of you will be using, I think second time, because first time you have used a type function, right? So type is a inbuilt function. Fine, you don't need to worry about write code. You can use the functionality directly, right? So this time also we are also using an inbuilt function, right, which is already been present in Python, and whenever required you can use as a user, right? So this function is known as input function, guys. Very interesting. Fine. So now if I needs to go ahead and if I needs to assign any information in a variable, so instead of giving information directly, I will be using an input function. Okay. And over here, guys, if you execute it up, now this time during the execution of the course or during the execution of the codes, you can have any value of your choice, and this is the real world of scenario, right? So let's say if you are creating any of the system where you are asking the user age, what will be the age of the user, what will be the height of the user, what will be the you can say Aadhaar IDs or social identity IDs. So each user have different. So you cannot say that okay, the weight of the user is 45 and you are storing onto it, right? This time if you will be asking the weight or age of the user, it can be 23, it can be 56, it can be 67. It's the choice of the user can give any input of their choice, right? So this is the dynamic way. Now dynamic thing will be there if you are not using any of the static way, right? So it is not fixed that which sort of information is giving onto the y variable or which information is stored on y variable. Now it's totally depend upon user. Maybe user have the age as 54, right? Maybe user can have age as 34. You are not sure about it, right? And now it's totally depend upon user, that whatever the input user give, whatever the response user give, that will be going to store in y. Now your machine don't know, now you also don't know that what will be the information that is going in. But that is the not a case on static way. Static way, before assigning the information, you as a user also know, your machine also know that 45 will be stored in X. It is useless. But over here, it's again a mystery. It can be any number. It can be anything. Are you getting the difference between static and dynamic way? Everyone. So for an example, it's 56, right? After giving the input, just hit a enter button, right? And now if you have a look, so y stored with 56. Fine. If you again run it, guys, now information will be changed continuously. You can have 78. Cool. If you execute this respective thing, y again, so now information has been changed to 78. Pretty simple. Okay. So this is the important thing. Now you can also customize it. How you are customizing it up? If you are executing it up, there is only a box, right? There is nothing before and after the box, right? So it's onto the output window. Okay. But let's say if you want to give any of the message, that will be flashed on the screen when the user sees the box. So you can put the same message inside input function. So I'll be simply writing hello, enter the age. Fine. So now you can see that before the box, you will be having this message onto the output section, right? So you can have any message of your choice. So I'll be saying hello, enter the age. Now user can enter anything of his or her choice. Anything. Okay. So that is the beauty of Python, how the things will be working up and how this colon, Rajan, are you saying this colon, right? Yes. Why these colon are important? Because how you are storing the text information. Python don't understand anything, right? If it is a variable, it's fine. But without variable, if you are using any information, right, then you need to use colon. Colon is for string. Okay. So already we have discussed on day one that whenever you are using textual information, right, use either single colons or double quotes. Okay. Are you getting this? Because over here, guys, this variables are different. This is not information. These are identifiers. So you can have these without quotes. But whenever it turns out to be information, anywhere, make sure you are using single quotes or double quotes, which is very, very important. Fine. So now, guys, if you execute it up, why over here? So you will be able to see that it is 21. So I want everyone to quickly give me the code where you are creating two user defined inputs. One is asking height of the person. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me give you a small thing and I am expecting your code, right? So is the this is the in session exercise. Okay, how many of you have heard about body mass index? How many of you have heard about it? That's cool. So can anyone give me that what will be the formula to calculate body mass index, BMI? Okay. Okay, so I get, no worries, Rajan. It's pretty well, fine. No worries. I'll be helping you out. Navya, that's cool. So guys, let me give you that how you will be calculating the BMI of uh any person. So it's totally correct, Navya. Fine. Okay. So BMI is simply nothing. It's the weight in kilograms. Okay. Divided by height square. Okay. And that too. Okay. So height in meters and you will be multiply them again. Fine. So height multiplied by height because it's of height square. Okay. So over here, guys, now you need to do one thing. Just give me a respective logical code where you will be asking weight of a person in kgs, and then you will be also asking for height of the person in meters, and then you will be calculating the BMI. So at the end of the day, what you need to do, you need to have one thing asking weight of a person in kgs and asking height of a person in meters and calculating the BMI. Okay. And I'm interested to know that how many of you will be succeeded over here in the same. Fine. And just give me one more thing, guys, because I got a response from Parshav. So, and it is very, very logical question, right? And I totally appreciate this. I am waiting that why this question has not been asked previously by anyone, right? So Parshava has a question that what is there any difference between single and double quotes? Okay. So hey guys, everyone just come on to this thing. It is very important, right? Leave BMI for now. Okay. So there is a thing that if we are going ahead and if we are working with string, so either I can use single quotes or either I can use double quotes. Fine. Both will be string. If you need to have a look, So you can have a variable. I'll be storing up thunder over here. It is in single quotes. Fine. And if you check the type of X, so you will be able to see that it is string. Fine, str. And if I'll be using it double quotes, then also you will be able to see, guys, that it is string. Fine. So why it is there are two formats for defining the same information? That is the question from Parsha. So guys, over here, Python is very logical language, and that's why data science professional loves it. And trust me, guys, that you also start loving it up. Very easy and very useful and significant language. So over here, what will be the thing that I'll be giving you a text, everyone. I'll be giving you a text that, okay, just store one thing in string T. In T, I'll be storing. See, have a look. I'll be using that it is a boy. It is a string. Fine. Why it is a string? Because you can see that I have used single quotes. And if I see and calculate and just view T, so you can say it will be there up. It is a boy. Fine. But onto the same hand, if I want to store a text like this in English language, where I'll be using a special format, it's a boy. Can I able to execute this? Because over here I am restricted. I have to use apostrophe S. I have to use special characters. Now, if I execute it up, guys, you will be seeing that it landed up in the errors. It is syntax error. Fine. That's why in such scenario, you needs to go ahead and you needs to use double quotes. That's the applicability, guys. Right? So it is a boy is also a string, and now it's a boy is also a string. Are you getting this, everyone? Parshava also, that's cool, Navya. So that is why in Python it's a very logical language. It will be taking care of all the scenarios around. That's cool. Okay. So guys, everyone just come on to this respective hands-on part that I have given to you for now. The BMI, weight and height. Anyone is able to get it up for now? I'll be giving you 2 minutes because hardly it's a task of 1 minute, guys. Right? Just try to do it and just give your opinion that how many of you able to calculate the BMI. If yes, then it's fine. I know why. Okay. Yeah, so guys, can I have your responses, everyone? Are you able to do it up? Okay, waiting for your response, everyone. That's cool. I got a response from Rajan. Rajan, are you able to get it up? Because I think the function that you are using. One thing very important, guys, Python is case sensitive. So make sure that over here case matters. So all the functionalities over here, all the cases are small case. So this is a function that Python can recognize. But if you use uppercase, then Python will give you the error. Okay. Let me show you. If I'll be saying Python, I am case sensitive, right? Python is saying to you that, hey guys, Python is case sensitive, right? So if you are using, and if you are saying print, so all the characters are in lowercase. Fine. That is the original functionality that Python will be able to go ahead and able to get it out. Shikhar is saying not able to connect to Google Colab. Shikhar, just make sure that at top right corner you will be having a connect button, right? Just try to push it up and then you will be having the allocated resources, that is RAM and disk space, right? So you don't need to worry about it. It will be connected up. Just give it a try, and if it is not, please let me know. I'll be giving you the screen share access, okay? So don't worry about it. Fine. Now, guys, let's say if I do one thing, if I only give and use this thing where P is in uppercase, okay? And if I'll be giving the same syntax, fine. So over here, you can see that you cannot able to execute this code because Python is a case sensitive language, right? So inside Python, there is a function which is with the name of print where all the letters are in lowercase. Fine. And if you are changing any case of a letter, so this is entirely different thing. Okay. So that's why there is nothing like print where P is in capital, right? There is a print functionality which will be giving you the output onto the screen, but in that print, everything is in lowercase in small character. Okay. Are you getting this, guys? So make sure that whenever you are using any of the functionalities, so the case should be exactly the same. Okay. Because it's a case sensitive language. Fine. So if I give lowercase print, yes, it will work absolutely fine. That's cool. Okay. So Shikhar, I'll be coming on to it. Just give me a moment. So over here, guys, you all have learned the dynamic way or the you can say user defined variable, how you will be accepting inputs from the user, which is very, very important, right? But one thing, have you seen in the output that every time if you will be giving anything inside input, it will automatically be converted into a string. Why? Because you have this quotes over here. Fine. So if you will be going ahead and if you will be having the height to be taken up from the user by input function, I'll be saying enter the height. Okay. So over here, yes, a person will be giving as 1.2 meters is pretty well. Fine. But if you go ahead and if you have a view of the character, or you can say the variable, so it is 1.2, it's fine. But over here you are seeing the quotes, right? And if you just check the type, just to make sure and confirm that whether it's a string or not, right? So over here, guys, you all will be shocked that it is a string. Okay. So input function have one of the thing which is very, very important, that no matter whatever the information you are giving in it, right? So all the information will automatically be converted into a string. Why? Because the applicability of this function when Python was created is to accept the name of the person, accept this textual information, right? So no matter whatever the information it is taking up, it will automatically convert it into a string. Whether it is a numeric, whether it is anything, always it will convert and return the information in the string format. Are you getting this, guys? Everyone? That input function by default return everything in string. Now, what's the issue then? The issue is very, very serious if anyone wants to work with numeric information, right? So this variable is a string in nature, and if you want to perform any of the arithmetic operation that we have all learned, addition, multiplication, division, see, it will not work at all. Why? Because text cannot have the operations with number. Are you getting me, guys? So we have given this height as 12. We are thinking that, okay, it's a number. But in reality, it is a string. If you have a look, okay, it is quotes, quotes, and inside quotes, it is 12. So now it is not a number, guys. It is a string. And in between string and number, you cannot able to perform, or you cannot able to add, subtract, or do any of the mathematical operation. Are you getting this? What is the restriction of this input function, everyone? Right? Now, guys, over here, let's try to understand one thing now, how to overcome, because there will be good number of use cases where we have to work with numeric information itself. That what's the solution? So solution is over here, guys. Everyone, just have a look onto the solution. So solution is known as typecasting. Fine. What is typecasting? Conversion of one data format to another. Okay. So what we need to look, we will be saying that by default, no matter whatever the information you are given inside it, all information will automatically be converted into string, right? So now all the results will be string. What will be our main task? That we have to convert the string into the integer or numeric information. Yes, guys, everyone. So let me do one thing. This time, let's see how you are tackling as a Python programmers for data analytics, how you are tackling up the issue, how you are converting the string data format to integers, right? Or integer. Now, what we are doing up, guys, I'll be having a variable w represent weight. So earlier what we needs to do, we needs to give input function and we needs to give a message that, okay, enter the weight. Fine. With the weight, if you will be executing it up, it will be asking for weight, let's say 70 kg. Fine. But if I have a look, guys, again you can see that the weight will be in string. You can see the quotes. And if you confirm and if you double check it, use type functionality. So in type functionality, you can see it is string, right? This is the by default nature. Yes, we know that input functions works like this. Now, how we will be using typecasting? How we are converting it up? Now, what we are doing, guys, just look over here. We are simply been putting the entire input function into the int functionalities. I'll be adding int over here, and then I will be enclosing the entire input in the round bracket. So now what you can say, no matter whatever this highlighted part will be returning up, right? Let me just give show you with the example. So it will be quite good. Okay. So over here, guys, you can see that this respective part, what it will be, what it will do, it will be helping us. Uh, Just a moment. It will be what it will be doing up, guys. Just give me a moment. It will be helping us to go ahead and it will be giving us the string part, right? It will return the string part. Now, what is happening? The important thing that you needs to look over here, very, very important thing that you needs to look over here, guys, is that this highlighted part, input, fine. This highlighted part will help us to tackle up and convert everything in integer. Fine. So if integer is there up, so the final output will also be integer. Are you getting this, everyone? Are you able to capture this respective base explanation, right? This string and integer is outside. So integer is simply being able to capture the entire string and then it will be converting into integer. So let's give it a try. Let's execute it up. So this time I'll be giving the weight as 67. Fine. If I hit enter, now you all will be able to see that it is only 67. It don't have any quotes. And if you check the type, so over here, guys, your type will be integer. Your type will be integer. You can have a look, right? And if it is in the integer, not a string, so you can do any of the mathematical operation. For an example, I need to perform some additions. I want to add 10 kg weight. Yes, it it will work superb. Why? Because now your W is also a numeric. So between number, you can perform mathematical operations. It's pretty simple. Are you getting this? That how we have resolved the issue? So if we want to take the string, so we only use the input function. We don't need to give anything. But if we are expecting and accepting any of the integer value, numeric value, then we have to use int function. Okay. Now there is one thing more, guys. Can I able to accept any of the decimal number? Can I put 56.7? What's your opinion, everyone? Navya is saying no. What about others? Can I have a quick confirmation? Everyone? Okay, Ranjan is saying no, Navya is saying no, Yashwant is saying no. Yes. So guys, the moment if I execute it up, so Python is such a smart language that Python don't manipulate the user inputs. Fine. It can also convert the same into an integer. It can only take this whole number 56 or it can, you can say, additionally round off it to 57, right? But it didn't happen over here. Why? Because Python don't want to manipulate or change what user has given. It is not increasing it up or it is not decreasing it up, right? So it has directly refused it. That is it is integer. It only accept whole number. It will not include any of the decimal number, right? Now, what's the issue over here, guys? How we can resolve it up? So whenever you needs to go ahead and whenever you needs to do it up, I'll be copying it up. Okay. So just okay. So over here, guys, let me just give it up only integer, right? Now let's see that how we can able to resolve this typecasting. Any guesses? How we can resolve and accept all the decimal numbers? Yes, yes, float, right? So over here, guys, what will be doing up? That's cool, Shikhar. I also got the response from Shikhar pretty well. So over here, guys, I'll be having an up my height. I'll be using a float. Inside this, I'll be giving input function, right? And I'll be saying, hey, enter the height. Okay. So now, if you execute it up, you will be having height as 1.3 meters. So you can say it's a decimal number. if you have a look, H, so it is 1.3, no respective quotes. If you check the type, so it's a floating number, guys. Yes, just a moment. H, so it's a float, right? So this is how you can go ahead and how you can accept it up. So let me just conclude it up for now. Yeah, but before that, now if I execute the floating number, can I give any of the whole number like 10 or 1 or 2? Will it accept? Will it accept? Nabil is saying yes. What about others? Akshay is saying yes. Rajan is saying yes. Yes, guys. Fine. Why? Because there is no loss of information, no gain of information. Information is not manipulated. So if you see 10 and 10.0, mathematically they have same sort of magnitude. They are of same, you can say, level. There is no change in the information, right? So that's why with float you can accept both the numbers, integers and floating point numbers. But for integer, it is only restrictive to int. Okay, so now let me conclude it over here. What we have seen over here in typecasting. In typecasting, or let's say whenever you are simply accepting input from users, right? So user defined inputs. What you need to do, if you want to accept only string or names or any of the textual information, so guys, you only need to use input function. Fine. But if you wants to go ahead and if you wants to simply take the whole number or integers, fine. So what you needs to do, you needs to include this input function inside your integer, right? Now, what will be the third scenario if you want to include all numbers, no matter whether it is integer or float? So you will be only using this respective functionality where you are including input inside float. Are you getting this, everyone? User defined inputs. That's cool, guys. Pretty amazing. Fine. Now let's discuss the BMI part. Okay. So now let me write the logic code. I have got a response from, I think, Shikhar only. Okay. So logic for BMI. Just have a look. What I need to do, I need to have my weight. Okay. So what I need to do, I need to use integer or float. So weight can also be like 54.5. Okay. So I'll be using float. I'll be using my input function and then I'll be writing enter the weight. Okay. Pretty amazing. Then guys, I'll be having h. I'll be again using float input function and I'll be saying that okay, enter the height. Fine. So now what I'll be doing up, I'll be calculating BMI. So what is it? Weight divide by height square. So either you can use this power operator, okay, or either you can use this height multiply by height. Okay. So guys, whenever you want to have these things, just make sure you are using the bracket. Fine. So that you have accurate result. Fine. So if you are putting bracket, first of all, their square will be calculated up, then division will be calculated up, right? Same board mass rule over here. Okay. So bracket give the priority. Fine. So now I'll be saying that BMI of person is, you can give comma and you can use the variable. Okay. So if you execute it up, guys, now you will be having all the logics with you. Weight, let's say 78 kilos. What is height? Height is 1.2 meter. And the BMI of the person is 54.16. Are you getting this, guys? Everyone, a very pretty simple logic. Okay. So this BMI of a person is the text part that I'll be giving up, and after comma I can give any value of my choice. So I have given this variable BMI. Just have a look, everyone, and let me know if anyone is having any of the issues. Can I have your quick responses? All clear for the day? That's cool, Navya or Shrikant. Okay, that's cool, Bhuvnesh. Pretty well. Rajan, Uday, Akshay, Yashwant. That's cool. Fine. So, guys, I'll be sharing up this file with you all, right? Slowly, we are going ahead and we are approaching to our main role of how we are using a Python, right? So, these are pretty small things. Just you are simply learning how to, let me just rename it up. I'll be writing demo, or this time let me say Python basics day 2. Okay, so let me just download it up, and I'll be putting the same onto the chat section, and now you all will be finding the same on your e-learning portal, right? So don't worry about it. Along with the recorded session, you will be having all the access to the file. That's cool, Shrikant. Okay, guys, thanks for your time. Okay, and let's meet again on Wednesday, the alternative day. So meanwhile, I want you all to be very proficient and comfortable around Python environment. Okay, so good night. See you.